Hey, welcome to an exciting episode of This Just In. I wanted to do something a little special about the new upcoming Batman v Superman Dawn of Justice for this weekend, and I brought a good friend of mine, comedian Timmy Boyle, who has a great channel on YouTube, which will be in the link description, called Timmy's Shorts, and you can check that at your leisure. And I thought we'd talk about our initial thoughts, what we're going to think about seeing of Batman v Superman and what that means. As you've probably guessed from watching a lot of my videos, I'm very much a Superman fan. I love the costumes, I love the character, I've always been into the comics. Timmy has a very different viewpoint of the DC comic world, and what's your stance? What's your favorite?
Between Batman and Superman? It is a complete and utter win on Batman's side. Yeah, I think Superman is completely and utterly irrelevant, and the only reason I'm going to see this movie is because Batman is in it.
There we go. So we're obviously already on different parts and paths here, so this is more of a Timmy versus Justin video at this point. How do you feel about the fact that we're already starting off, it's called Dawn of Justice, so that automatically includes the fact that it's going to be going into the Justice League?
Right.
How do you feel about that?
I actually have zero interest, or even I'm not even swayed because of the Justice League. I literally believe there's Batman and the rest. So anybody else who gets brought into this mess, to me, is just going to probably make it a great action flick. But in general, like you could have had Batman with anybody else, and I would go see the movie.
So it's Batman v Aquaman, you'd be there.
Oh, absolutely. And actually, after a video you showed me, I always thought Aquaman was a little bit soft, but you showed me a cartoon video, and he was pretty awesome. So I would see that. I would see that.
So Keaton, and again, I grew up with Keaton too. I'm an 81 baby, so 89 Batman was right up my alley. As much as I'm not the biggest Batman fan, that was still a great film. Always loved it. How do you feel, for the first time ever, aside from it being Ben Affleck, which we'll go into in a minute, how do you feel about the costume? This is the first time that we haven't had a rubber suit.
Yeah, it looks weird. I mean, number one, as far as I can tell, there are no nipples though, which is a benefit to everybody involved. But yeah, it looks weird to me because I'm very much, rubber suit Batman. I'm not, like tights Batman from Adam West wasn't quite my thing, but I enjoyed the campiness of that show. But yeah, no, I think it looks odd. It doesn't look like in the trailers that I've seen, in the pictures that I've seen. It doesn't look like Batman to me.
Because you've already had this idea that it's the
rubberized I think, what? Quite frankly, I think I'm more connected, not even with Batman as a whole, but with, like, the 89 Batman was so impactful to me that everything else gets measured to Keaton's Batman, 1989. And it's hard for me to even, when they got off with Bale, it was like, I thought that was one of the best trilogies I've seen from beginning to end. It's all got its holes, but still, I had a hard time with that transition of in my mind, that 89 rubber suit Batman is Batman. And
you've seen the other heroes, so like, how do you feel that stacks up? Especially seeing the world of the new Batman. Mm-hmm. You have Superman. Now you've mentioned to me previously you have not seen Man of Steel, so you're going to this kind of cold, right, unless you watch it beforehand.
Yes.
But you've seen the suits, you've seen the costumes, you've seen the posters.
Yes.
You've seen Wonder Woman.
Yes.
And how do you feel that fits in that aesthetic? For that version, it fits into the aesthetic of the overall Zack Snyder verse.
Yeah, you know what? I like the overall feel of, I guess, if you're looking at the main three of Superman, Batman, and Wonder Woman, I think all of their outfits, I think they're complementary. Yes. I think they look good as an overall kind of picture. I understand why they've made some of the changes. I think, once again, maybe it's my classic mind, but Wonder Woman, there's a picture of Wonder Woman that this costume is kind of like, it's not quite Wonder Woman, but I understand that they're going, it's a little more darker, it's a little more grittier, but still I have a hard time with that. But I think they all look good. I think this Superman, I think this is one of the best outfits for Superman. If I was to say anything positive about Superman, I really like the outfit in this one.
It looks pretty good, yeah.
Yeah.
How do you feel? There's been a lot of back and forth in the fan communities. Now, you've mentioned that you're not into so much the comic fan culture,
right,
as say myself here. So there's a lot of outspokenness about Ben Affleck taking over Batman.
Yeah.
Just like there was a lot of outspoken talk about Gal Gadot taking over Wonder Woman,
yep.
And of course Henry Cavill taking over Superman. Like any of the others, whenever you take over another live action, you have this entire catalog of people who've played before you.
Right.
Ben Affleck, of course, is filling in the shoes of Christian Bale, who filled in the shoes prior to him. So, like, how do you feel initially, without having this obviously seen too much of the footage or even the film itself?
Yeah.
How are you going into it?
I had an inward zen moment, a freeing moment, because I was completely and utterly against Ben Affleck in every regard. I thought he was a horrible actor. I ragged on him for about 10 solid years. He was my go-to conversation piece of like worst actors in the world. And so when I heard that he was going to be Batman, who I think is the best character ever, that was hard. But then I realized, and I wrote a blog about it, about that I was judging Ben Affleck really off of Daredevil.
Right.
And it wasn't, I didn't think he was good in that, but I think I had preconceived thoughts of Ben going into that. And then for the last, however long it's been since Daredevil, I struggled with the fact of, can Ben Affleck do anything? But then I saw some later stuff, and now I'm willing to give him a shot. Because I don't think, at the time, I don't think I necessarily expected great things from Michael Keaton.
And there was a lot of newspaper articles, magazine articles denouncing the fact of Mr. Mom.
Right, yeah.
Automatically, yeah.
But that worked, and Christian Bale, I didn't know anything about Christian Bale. I ended up liking his Batman. So I've kind of had that freeing moment to just go, you know what? I think Ben's gotten better along the way, and let's just go in there and enjoy Batman and see what happens.
He definitely has come a long way. I've seen him. I recently watched Gone Girl, which if you haven't seen, that's an amazing film where you actually get to see his character acting, and I think he can really pull that off. In the few little shorts we've seen so far, even like the Turkish Airlines shorts, I'm not sure if you saw those, you get to see a little bit of Bruce Wayne, which has been pretty cool, and I think he can really pull that off. And he is an older Bruce, so he's a little bit more reserved. So I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt, because I actually think he'll probably pull it off well. He did previously play Superman. He did a biopic of George Reeves.
Really?
Yeah. So you actually get to see Ben Affleck in a Superman costume, and then of course now in the Batman costume. So.
See that now irks me.
But now he's replaced it. So he's gone from Superman to
Batman.
Right,
okay, yeah, so he improved, right, I get it, okay.
So it's going to be pretty interesting to see. I think he's going to be better, and one of the great things I think about comic films, and just films in general, when you go in with such a low expectation anyway, I think he has the ability to blow people out of the water, because people think he's going to be bad. If you go in there thinking, it's Ben Affleck, and they go, wow, he was really good. And I think that's one of the possibilities. The same thing with Jesse Eisenberg as Lex, and some of the other casts where people were kind of nervous about them playing the parts.
But I think one of the saving graces for Ben Affleck in this one is he's not, even if he is good, he's not carrying the movie. This isn't Batman with a Superman appearance or a Wonder Woman appearance. This is, well, I guess she is just...
She is, yes.
She's the third piece. I'm excited to see Wonder Woman, quite frankly. But anyways, he's not carrying it on his own.
Right.
And I think that could be good
in a way, too, it actually brings things differently, whereas the other films, you always had to have this origin, whereas at this point, there's Batman. And as far as casting goes, we probably will see the death of Thomas and Martha Wayne. Spoilers, I'm sorry. It'll be like the 30th time we've seen it on film. I look forward to the montage that will inevitably come out of all the deaths of Batman's parents in every medium, in every film, every cartoon.
Has every single one shown the beads?
I'm pretty sure.
The pearl beads?
Pretty sure.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm pretty excited to see the whole thing. You said you've seen the trailer. The trailer got me really excited, especially the second trailer, which I don't know if you've seen. The first one, a lot of people complained that it showed too much.
Okay.
Because they were concerned that it gave away too much of the plot. But the first trailer was more made, I think, for people more like you, who are familiar with the character, familiar with the comics, but not in the culture.
Yeah.
Where it's just say, hey, oh, by the way, here's Lex Luthor, here's this monster, here's Wonder Woman out of nowhere. There's a couple of humorous jokes.
Storyline aside, I think it's going to be action-packed. I think it's going to be a solid action film, and the nostalgia of my connection with Batman. I think ultimately I'm going to walk away going, that was a cool movie. And I'm not going to be the person to rip it at the end trying to tear down details, because I don't know all the details.
And one of the best benefits of the entire thing is the fact that this is the very first time on film that we're going to have Batman and Superman together, never mind Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman.
Yeah. No,
that's the first time.
It's pretty cool.
Like everyone pipe dreamed it back when Linda Carter and Christopher Reeves and Michael Keaton were all doing their roles. They had dreams of that happening, and it's not even the first time they've tried to do this either. There's been a number of attempts to get to this point, so I'm pretty excited about it. So I guess to wrap this up, obviously you love Batman, and I love Superman, and in a situation of a fight, and it's happened a few times in the comics.
Yeah.
And it's always one of those draw things, kind of like who's faster, Superman or the Flash, and it's never conclusive who's the fastest until the Flash, in one panel of the comic, he says, "Hey, no, I'll catch you," and the Flash turns to him and says, "Clark, all those races were for charity," and then just sped past them. Cannot catch.
The Flash is faster?
The Flash is way faster. There's no way Superman can even keep up to him.
It's not surprising.
So in a situation of a hero versus a hero, whether good-natured or not, how do you feel Batman will do against Superman? And again, all holds barred. We've already seen Kryptonite in the trailers and stuff like that. So how do you? But what do you think? What do you think? Who's going to win the BVS?
I don't think it's who I think. I mean, it's gonna be Batman. Like, I mean, it's Batman can clean anybody's clock in the entire Marvel, DC, whatever. It doesn't matter. Anybody. If he can't beat them with strength, he'll beat them with brain. He's almost like the survivor of superheroes. He will outwit, outlast, outplay.
He did go toe to toe against Captain America in the crossovers.
Oh yeah?
Yeah. Toe to toe.
How do you do?
Toe to toe. It was pretty much a draw.
Yeah. Wow.
But super soldier, superhuman.
Yeah.
Versus man.
Yeah.
And he held his own.
Yeah. I don't know. I think Batman wins. I think he always finds a way, and that's why. He's epic, and he's a human. The fact that he can do that and be a human is fascinating to me.
Well, there's that one shot in the trailer where Superman goes to throw a punch and Batman blocks it, and Superman looks at the fist, and it's a oh crap moment upon his face. I obviously think, I mean, obviously if you take Superman and you take away his morals, all he has to do is nuke Batman from orbit if he really wanted to. Which is obviously the thing that you can't just take that out of the equation, because he would never do that, because he just laser vision from wherever he is.
Yeah, and I think that's where I have this problem with Superman.
Is that because he wouldn't do that?
No, my problem is the fact that when a guy can run around the world and turn back time, to me that's just kind of like, I think there's a reason why they've had a problem rebooting Superman over the years, and I think that's the problem. Is that people can't relate. That's why Wolverine, Iron Man, Batman, human beings with immense ability but incredible flaws. None of these guys can turn back time. None of them can laser beam someone from heaven, but they can still go toe to toe with the best of them.
Right.
And I think that's my problem with Superman and why Batman is so, because I could be Batman.
Right.
If I had money and training, I could never be Superman. Right. I can't relate to Superman. And I think a lot of people can't relate to Superman.
No, that's true. It's fair, yeah.
And I think that's why in this process where they're going to go head to head, I can't help
You're automatically be rooting for Batman just because he's the little guy in the fight.
Yeah, it's funny underdog. Because he's David in the David and Goliath, but he's Goliath.
Right.
In my head, he's the underdog, but he shouldn't be, and that's what makes me angry.
But even in the fight of David and Goliath, David is the one you root for because you're the one you can relate to him. This giant, faceless guy who's super strong and super tall.
Right.
That you're gonna want the little guy to win only because you can relate to him.
Yeah.
So yeah, I could see that. And because of that, you may, surprisingly, since you have not seen Man of Steel, you may actually enjoy it because it actually deals with some of those issues of vulnerability that's not. Because Superman's vulnerability isn't his skin, it's his heart. right? It's his. He cares too much. That's the whole idea in the comics, right? That's why he gets depressed. They can't help everyone when he's in his younger days. That kind of thing, right? So
that's kind of like, to me, the multi-millionaire though. He's like, oh, I'm so sad. I have too much money.
Yeah.
Like there's a.
He was raised in Kansas though.
Well, he was raised a good old.
Unlike Mr. Silver Spoon, raised by his butler.
Yeah. But he never really comes across. Batman isn't that guy though.
And that's when you look at. I mean, you look at a lot of the heroes. A lot of the DC heroes are gods, right? You have the Flash, who's super fast, and you have Wonder Woman, who's super strong, super fast, can fly, maybe fly, or invisible jet, depending on which one you want to go with. And for the most part, they're all super beings. Or they become super beings. Yeah. Whereas then you have Green Arrow and Batman and Huntress and those heroes are all peak humans.
Right.
Who can toe to toe with them. So yeah, I can totally understand that. If you guys have any questions for us, ask us down below in the comments. Let us know who you think is going to do. Obviously, there's been a lot of positive Twitter comments so far about the film from the initial reactions because the embargo's not off yet. But we're going to see it this weekend. Yeah. You guys hopefully are going to see it this weekend. It's going to be a great film. It's a history-making film. Again, first time ever for this stuff. So let us know what you think in the comments below. Who do you think is going to win? And are you definitely going to see the film? We look forward to hearing from you. Again, thanks for Timmy for coming and having this little chat. If you want to check out his channel, Timmy Shorts, again, check down in the description below. And be sure to check me out on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Thanks so much for liking and subscribing. But as always, thanks for watching.